Hello, everyone. I'm back again. It's Rachel, and I'm here with the beautiful, amazing Clarissa, too. Clarissa is one of my stars. Really is one of my stars, seriously. She is a hypnotherapist and now coach, too. She is also an OT, people, and the girl is brilliant. You went to Stanford, didn't you?
I went to Berkeley, but Stanford
Oh,
was our
I'm sorry. She went to Berkeley. No, but she is seriously not just beautiful, which you all can see, but she is brilliant and she is kind and she's really fucking good at what she does. So Clarissa, like I mentioned, is a hypnotherapist, but she is also now a coach. And I wanted to bring her on, share her story with you guys because it's really inspiring. Also, if anyone needs a hypnotherapist, you should totally hire Clarissa because after this, I'm going to go on her page because she actually gave me sessions, which was really incredible. So Clarissa, just tell them a little bit about yourself. Tell them who you mostly help. I know you can help anyone, but who you mostly help and all the juice.
Yeah, so I'm Clarissa. Hi, nice to meet everybody. Thanks, Rachel, for inviting me. So I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm also an OT. So I started practicing as an OT in 2014. I graduated with a doctorate in OT, occupational therapist. And then in 2018 is when I first had my encounter with a hypnotherapist as a client. And it was really instrumental in my healing. I decided to learn about hypnosis as a healing modality. And I spent a year in training and started practicing around 3 years ago. And I really absolutely love it. I ended up just going full time into hypnotherapy. I'll always be an OT, but right now I do want to focus on the entrepreneurship part of my hypnotherapy practice. And I honestly still do feel like hypnotherapy is a form of OT. I do help people. Yeah, I do help people just live their most functional life. It's just with a different modality than I was trained at in grad school. So the people that I help most have some challenges with anxiety, and anxiety can come in many presentations, right? Procrastination is a coping mechanism for anxiety. If you're feeling stuck, like there's no movement there, we can think of a core issue there is an inability to cope with your anxiety in a productive way. Perfectionism is another face of anxiety, and also disordered eating, because I had an eating disorder, body image issues growing up. That is one area that I'm pretty passionate about as well. Relationship with food, relationship to yourself and your body. I also love working in the area of healthy boundaries because I feel like growing up, it was really hard for me to find my own identity among, family, community. Like if I felt like I wasn't of service to the people that I love and the people that I care about, it was really hard for me to find that intrinsic value in myself. So I oftentimes kind of lived in the minds of other people much more than I was able to access and understand how I felt about something, what it is that I wanted. So all that self-exploration was something that I worked through in hypnotherapy. So it's what I like to work through with my clients as well. Anxiety, basically, yeah. And people who have difficulty with boundaries also have overwhelm and anxiety too. So it's all kind of related to anxiety. I do love working with women as well. A lot of the issues that I work through and that I see, manifest as my clients in my practice. These are issues that women go through oftentimes, actually more so than men. So I do see a larger population of women seeking my services.
And Clarissa, because people might be wondering right now, so why did she sign up for a coach training? So we'll just jump right into that. So tell them a little bit about what inspired you to join the Live Your Dharma program.
Yeah, so I met Rachel through a networking group for female entrepreneurs. I did a consult call with her, and actually, at first, I was more interested in her other program, the Business Mastermind, because I felt like I trained as a hypnotherapist and I was pretty confident in my clinical tools, but I just really needed help with bolstering the marketing administration part of my business, and I didn't feel like I had skills there. So when I talked to her, I was actually wondering, like, should I just wait for that one, or should I do one-on-ones instead of sign up for the coaching certification? But after talking to her, realizing that one of my barriers with being able to progress my business forward was in my difficulty with self-coaching, with and a lot of the things that I work on with my clients too, like creating those healthy boundaries between my business and my personal life, making space like between work that I wanted to push forward. And, you know, Rachel knows this. I was debating. I had this indecision about whether or not to go full force with my business because my boyfriend wants to do a world trip. It's like his dream to do a world trip at the end of this year. And I had this hesitation with fully investing in my business if I was going to leave. And so just talking through this with her, I realized that actually I had a lot of mindset issues that I needed to work on too. And that would impact like my success and belief in myself that would energetically feed into my marketing. So I had the consultation with her. I thought about it for a little bit. And I decided that I actually really needed the tools for myself so that I could be more successful and have the right energy behind my business. But as I continued on with the course, I started learning these other tools, and I work, you know, with hypnosis, which is with the subconscious mind. But Rachel actually, through talking, like out of the state of hypnosis, does help through counseling and interviewing, right? Getting the clients to come to their own conclusions, which is great, right? It helps them get into the habit of, you know, when they're independent from me and they are feeling a certain way that's blocking them, like maybe like they'll be able to take themselves through this process as well. So training them in a way that's more sustainable, and not necessarily just giving them the answers, like pointing out the patterns for them, which I do admit, you know, because I kind of like can see the big picture as an objective person, and I'm really eager for them to get to their goal. Like one of the things that I need to work on, which came out during our coaching sessions together with the Live Your Dharma group, was that like, wow, like I need to be less solution based and just help the client, you know, take their time in creating their own solutions. And so it actually did really help me develop more skills in the talking part of my session. And I've been able to actually become more comfortable with sometimes like, okay, just wait and have patience for them to get there. And if we don't get to the hypnosis this time, then we'll get to it next time. But we have a better foundation that I could base my hypnosis on next time, because we had this great conversation in which they found their own answers. So I found good. Awesome. Yeah.
So good. Oh my God. So many things come to mind, but we'll stick with what we said we were talking about. Oh my God, it's so good though. But truly, Clarissa, like we do a lot of peer coaching, and Clarissa is really natural and very good. So it was at times, I think, and I get it because I can sometimes see it too. And you want to just jump in and be like, I have the answer. But then we forget, right, that when people come to their own conclusion, there is a different degree of empowerment that comes with that. So if you were to look back now, what would you want to tell yourself? That sounds weird. What would you want to tell 3 months ago? I cannot talk. Clarissa, now.
Yeah, I would just tell her to go for what she wants. And at that time, I think I was also the whole boundary issue, like what do I want? You know, there's my boyfriend dreams and my boyfriend's dream of traveling and my dream too, but also to have that trust that things are just gonna work out, right? I mean, you know, the travel plans were loose anyway, and if I just built this confidence in myself for my career, then that really adds to how I feel about my ability to succeed in my business, no matter where I am in life. Like, I could take a break, I can travel and come back. And I just have this confidence that what I did once, that I could do again and again. And there's no time for that, like the present. And so, so I think just telling her to just trust in outcomes and just to push forward with making my dreams come true would be the advice for her, rather than just to wait and to get that permission, externally. Yeah. And really that came from within. Like I needed to give myself that permission to fully take the leap with my business. And it felt really good. Like once I started, and even before we started the Dharma coaching, like Rachel gave me an assignment to do this 21-day visibility challenge on Instagram. And I started it. And I would say that I saw like a difference in my confidence and in my comfort with vulnerability and visibility, even before like we started our first day. And I think just making that decision made such a huge difference. So to just
that sentence, please, everyone listen, because I've had a couple calls this week. Making that decision alone made such a huge difference. I literally said those words to someone earlier today. I said, look, whether it's a yes or a no, it's okay. But just making that decision can literally change who you are. Like, and then having your own back, right? Like it's not just making the decision, but making the decision and not living in limbo, which is so powerful. So good. Yeah. And what would you say, is there like a strength, an ability, something that you picked up in the program that you were able to like access and like that you've now started to integrate, that you're applying? Is there one thing that sticks out in your mind?
I would say the belief in myself, especially to reach my money goals. Like I was just telling Rachel earlier this week that in the first quarter of this year, I doubled my income from, what if you were just to look at.
Say that again.
I doubled my income just from the first 3 months. And I do believe that it came from just fully committing to my business, which the coaching program was part of, solidifying that belief in myself. And I'll admit, when I first came
100%, no doubt.
Yeah. And I was hoping when I came out, I was just like, okay, I hope I can just like get enough clients to just make back what I paid for the coaching program. But it was actually way more than that. I think it was probably like 3 to 4 times more than.
I was about to say, wasn't it like 3 or 4 times? Which is like, people like when I tell them that, they're like, really? I'm like, no, really, that's what you can do. And truly that shift in my money beliefs gives me more of a belief that I can just do whatever I want. Like I just, you can.
Right? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. So actually experiencing that outcome, just seeing it play out. And it wasn't until this past week when I did my numbers, I was like, oh, wow, it actually happened. That now I do have this belief, because I've seen proof of it now, that whatever I decide to do, I can just do. And again, like with, flexible plans with travel in the future, that also gives me that peace of mind. If I leave and come back, I'll be okay, which takes off a huge layer of stress for me too.
Yeah. And I know that was like a huge part in your deciding. And I love that you have that now. And it's like a gift that I wish I could give every single person out there. Like, we want the proof. And the truth is Clarissa had to take that leap of faith and belief first to create the proof. And people want the proof first. And it's just not how it works. Now, of course, she has some proof now. So you're all saying, yeah, but she has it. But she believed. She stepped into that belief before she had it.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And it was also really helpful to have Rachel believe in me so much. The other people believe in me so much too. And that community and borrowing almost their belief in me really helped me to just keep going. But I do have, new goals that I don't have proof of. I want to be able to, like, I don't know, 2.5 times my income maybe from last year. And I haven't.
Nah, more than that, Clarissa, but that's okay. Clarissa just really nailed something. Like I was saying, it's like, she's so right. Like part of our job, right, is to hold that belief. Like you're for your clients, me for my clients. And until we have it, like my coach does it for me, we get to just borrow a little bit of it, which is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And Rachel just did it right now. She was like, nah, you can do more than that. Triple your income.
Always see so much more. I'm always like, I was on a client earlier and this client she said something like, yeah, maybe someday I'll make $100,000. I'm like, okay, is that what you want? She's like, well, I really want to make $1 million. I'm like, then let's make $1 million. She's like, you're crazy. I'm like, yeah, a little.
We do need that. Yeah.
We all need a little bit of crazy in our lives, I think.
Yeah. And yes, like Rachel, like I have the proof now, but there's going to be bigger goals and other ambitions in which I still do need that leap of faith. And so I encourage you guys, if you have that desire and you do want to take the plunge, it does actually feel a lot safer than, it might be without that guidance of Rachel and the community around you. So it is.
And I'm glad that Clarissa actually said that. I don't know if anyone else has talked about this, but the community is really pretty, I have to say, I think pretty fucking amazing. The last group was, and several of them have chosen to re-enroll. So that's super, I think, amazing because we get to keep the community going. But like, it's not just having that support from me, but she just nailed it. It's that support from the other people, right? The other women in the group that also, like she said, believe in you too. Because when you're having those days where you're not believing in yourself, there's always someone to be like, hey, could use a little bolt in the pants. What does the saying go? I always mutilate every saying. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think I might have just made that one up, actually. Anyways. So Clarissa, if you had one piece of advice, and you kind of just did it, but we'll just do it again, to someone out there who's on the fence, who's terrified of investing, we'll just say they're afraid that they're the unicorn, that this doesn't work for. What would you want them to know?
Well, if they haven't yet, I think booking a conversation with you is really helpful, because when I did that, and I was able to just kind of see objectively, and Rachel tries to help you make a decision and isn't attached. She just wants you to do what's best for you. And so having that guidance is really helpful. And for her, she even sent me this meditation on decision making with this like travel plan that I had. So I would say just give the conversation a shot with her. But also, if you're afraid of being that one person that it's not going to work on. So I actually had an experience with a client of mine who, and clients are so awesome with doing their self-improvement work outside of my sessions too. But she came to me and she was like, I just realized I'm not that special because I just, everything bad is going to happen to me. And then I realized that I'm not so, off of the, bell curve that everything bad is going to happen to me. So that those of you out there who think that you're just going to be like the only one that this isn't going to work on, just that idea of like, you're not so far out of the bell curve, and if you like watch a few of these testimonials and just see how the people that Rachel coached have had really positive experiences and see that proof that, I can't be that off, or it's not going to work for me. So just think of it like that. Just have some exposure to the different testimonials that Rachel posts, and they're all very different. Like we all gained our benefits in different ways. And so just seeing for yourself how there could be a lot of right ways that this program works for you, and just having that belief that, it's not going to be like you being the only one that this doesn't work for. It's very unlikely.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. And I did not tell Clarissa to tell everyone to watch all the testimonials. That was just on her own. I didn't tell her to actually say anything. FYI. Clarissa, thank you so much for sharing your experience inside the program with everyone today. And I do really want to shout out to Clarissa. She's an amazing hypnotherapist. And if you are struggling with anxiety, with procrastination, perfectionism, they all kind of go hand in hand. Any body image stuff, really reach out to her, because she's downplaying that she's also a really amazing coach. So she incorporates two amazing modalities together, and there's no doubt in my mind that you are going to get the results you want, and probably pretty quick, because she's freaking amazing.
Thank you, Rachel.
And if you need to find her and you can't, you can reach out to me, and I will make sure to pass on her information. But also, since we're live right now together, you could probably just click on her name, and that will take her right to her page.
And you can go ahead and send me a DM.
Yeah.
Clarissa.
And I think Clarissa you were on a podcast episode too. So if you guys want to learn more about hypnotherapy, check out that episode. I forget what number it was. But it's called, I think, Meshing Hypnotherapy and Coaching, something like that. And you can learn more about hypnotherapy. And Clarissa actually debunks a lot of the myths that are flying around about it. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful night, Clarissa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rachel. Okay. Bye-bye.